Welcome back to Ride JBI. This is JB. Today we finished a suspension revalve on this 2023 KTM 450 SXF. This suspension was revalved to the JBI suspension SoCal Hills Spec. This setting is for riders that like to go out into the hills, stack and build jumps, and jump them. It is also for riders that occasionally like to hit the freestyle ramp, but they don't want a pure freestyle motocross setup. Instead, our SoCal Hills setting is much stiffer than our standard motocross or even pro motocross setting, but it is not as stiff as our JBI suspension freestyle motocross setting. The reason for that is when riders are free riding out in the hills, most often the terrain is not perfectly groomed or smooth. The lead up to the jump and takeoff is often bumpy. And if you're trying to do that on FMX suspension, it is gonna be quite a chattery ride. So our SoCal Hills setting is something, again, that is much stiffer than a standard motocross or even pro motocross setting. So it allows riders to still go big out in the hills, hitting jumps, and have plenty of bottoming resistance, and also still hit ramps as well. The reason a freestyle setting is much stiffer is because those riders often only ride ramps, so the terrain that they are encountering is generally really smooth, meaning the run up and the takeoff is very smooth, very little bumps. So there's no need to make the suspension have really any plushness or comfort to it for those guys. So at JBI, we found that there was a good, I don't want to say market, but there's a good fit for a SoCal Hills setting for riders that like to hit ramps, still jump jumps, and also occasionally go hit the motocross track as well. This would be a very firm setting for motocross, but still rideable. Axel Hodges he shows that quite well with his riding. Oftentimes when he's riding the moto track, he's still on one of his freestyle bikes, and he shows you with the proper technique and the want, you can still ride a very stiff bike on the moto track, albeit it's not that much fun to do. So this is our JBI suspension SoCal Hills setting. It's been very popular for the past couple of years since we came out with it. This is the stock WP AER 48, or AKA Exact 48 air fork. It has been revalved to our JBI suspension Pro Fork Spec, or let's say setting, and then the Spec is the SoCal Hills setting. And then this WP linkage shock was also revalved as well. This is the first year for this 2023 Gen 3 of the WP linkage shock, and they definitely made some nice upgrades from the previous generation WP linkage shock. Ride JBI has also tested, tuned, and developed many other suspension settings. We have suspension settings for all the different types of off-road riding, motocross, arena cross, supercross, freestyle motocross, and also this setup here, SoCal Hills. If you like Ride JBI to do your suspension, please give us a call, send us an email. We can discuss the year, make, and model bike that you have, what options are available, and which setup would be most advantageous for you. All JBI suspension services and parts can be found at ridejbi.com.